Epstein's 50th birthday. The Journal reporting that the book contains a letter and a drawing from President Trump.
Don't say I didn't warn you. Tonight, I have gathered more of the most disturbing TikToks on the internet. And this is just a warning to everyone who clicked on this video. You will not be the same after watching this. And the conspiracies you're going to hear tonight are so crazy that you might not even think that they're real. But unfortunately, the world is a lot darker than we know. And I don't want to see anyone in the comments talking about Sean, these videos are not even scary. Just wait till the end of the video. We'll see if you can make it. What's even scarier than the TikToks we're about to watch today is the fact that 60% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe for more scary videos. Thank you.
The consequences from the latest Epstein files have officially begun. Lithuania has become the first country following the latest release to officially open an investigation into potential over in Poland, their Prime Minister, Donald Tusk, he has now set up a new task force investigation into new evidence which suggests Epstein may have been linked to Russia's KGB in order to collect compromising information on the elites of the Western world. He said,
"This can only mean that they also possess compromising material against many leaders still active today."
We wish you luck with that one, Donald Tusk. Over in the UK, one of the biggest political scandals in decades is unfolding after police launched a criminal investigation into Lord Mandelson. This is following documents suggesting that not only did he potentially give Epstein sensitive government information in 2009, but also he allegedly received $75,000 from him in 3 separate 25,000 transactions in 2003 and 2004. Lord Mandelson, who also served as US ambassador last year, has now been forced to resign from the Labour Party and the House of Lords. In Slovakia, their national security advisor to the country's prime minister has now also been forced to resign after the files showed that he had a text exchange with Epstein saying that he would take the MI girl, to which Jeffrey responded with, "You can have them both, I'm not possessive," and they're sisters. Over in the United States, Bill and Hillary Clinton have finally agreed to testify on their dealings with Jeffrey Epstein after months of refusing. And to make it even more interesting, their spokesperson said they look forward to setting a precedent that applies to everyone, suggesting more people could be next. The NFL said that they are now looking into the New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch after emails suggested that Epstein scouted women for him. In the UK, police are now looking into new allegations against Andrew and has now officially had to move out of the Royal Windsor Lodge. And speaking of Drew, British tabloids have also had headlines this week saying that his ex-wife and former royal fled the country amidst the Epstein scandal. She is now looking for a new home overseas. But the question is, will more real consequences follow, or will all of this become a big pile of nothing again?
Honestly, bro, I don't think anybody's gonna get some real repercussions. You could have been laid up on Jeffrey Epstein's lap giving a full confession, and people, obviously people are gonna think you're like Diddy, but nothing's probably gonna happen to you.
Psychologists actually just figured out that the foods that you crave and eat are not random. They're literally tied to what's going on in your head. So these psychologists are now saying that if you ever catch yourself reaching for something crunchy like chips or carrots whenever you're stressed, that's not an accident. They're now saying, based off of this study, that if you crave crunchy food, it's actually linked to suppressed anger or tension because the physical act of crunching helps release it. Okay. They also found that if you're somebody that likes to late night snack, it's usually not hunger, it's boredom or loneliness. Your brain's looking for stimulation, not calories. If you're somebody that's craving something sweet whenever you're feeling down, it's your body trying to boost serotonin because sugar gives you a temporary boost of it. If you're somebody that always goes for warm foods like super pasta, that's tied to wanting comfort and safety because warmth usually makes you feel secure. I didn't know it was the day for psychologists to just come for us. They also found that if you're somebody that eats while you're distracted, like scrolling through your phone or watching TV, your brain doesn't fully register the meal. So you'll feel hungry again way faster than if you just ate normally. And they also found that comfort food is almost never about the taste, it's about the memory. So whatever you ate whenever you felt safe as a kid is typically what you would reach for now. Dude, this obviously makes perfect sense, but we never thought about it this way, and this is insane.
So bro gave up his pro career, helped build her public following, took care of her through her cancer treatment, and she still decides to leave him to discover herself. Day and 10Z were literally together for 6 years and then decided to break up, and they literally went through all the things I just said. I think it's so much worse. Keep watching before you scroll, because this was the goodbye letter that she wrote. Right? No, they went down to a public park and wrote the goodbye letter together. It looks like he's the one writing it, and in the letter, she's literally like, all right, I need to build myself as an individual. Like, he's writing that for her. And then people are pointing out, finding yourself, how do you want to leave the love of your life that literally helped you through cancer? You got clout from him. He literally sacrificed his entire career, and you want to leave him to go find yourself? Guys, this is literally the red pill. It's most likely the reason that she wants to leave him is because he sacrificed his career. Do you understand? If he would have just stuck with his career no matter what, she would have seen, all right, this guy's masculine. But the fact that he gave up his career is literally proving that she won. So guys, never give up your career for a woman, or this might happen. What do y'all think?
You know, I know it goes both ways. It's not just women, but bro, you could do everything for somebody. And I mean this from the heart and soul. You could do everything for a person, and they will leave you in the dirt to go shake some booty. Maybe I'm just trauma dumping, but you know, I know there's some good women watching this video. So thank you for being, not like that, I guess.
Wrong with him? KFC, who did this? I mean, what the black colored fried chicken? Are you trying to kill people, bro? What is it? Is it deep fried? You doing this for Black History Month to give black chicken? Nah, bro. Whose idea was this? Come on now, this is blatantly borderline food poisoning. You're not supposed to have some colored chicken, bro. Ain't no way. And it's limited. I mean, this month is limited. It's only 1 month. What the wrong with them? Black History Month chicken. I'm not trying this. I rebuke this meal. I would never try this shit, bro. I rebuke this meal. I rebuke KFC. And I hope this post ain't real. I'm sounding like my Malcolm X right now.
So that ring ad at the Super Bowl last night is fooling nobody, right? We want to save dogs, so whenever one goes missing, we're going to search through everybody's Ring cameras to make sure that dog is found. They're not going to use this on just dogs. I can just imagine how the execs planned this ad. So we want everyone's Ring cameras to be our personal surveillance nodes. How do we make that sound like a good thing? Very cool that ad that Ring put out basically boiled down to them saying, hey, if we wanted to find someone, we can just upload their photo to our database, and then we will use Ring cameras that people own to find that person.
Scientists just got the FDA approval to test a treatment that would literally reverse aging in humans, and the first patients are being enrolled right now. This is obviously insane. This company called Life Biosciences just got the green light from the FDA to test the first ever cellular rejuvenation therapy on actual humans. And if you're like me, you obviously don't know what that means. They figured out how to use 3 specific genes to essentially factory reset your cells back to a younger state. This is not to slow down aging, it's not to treat symptoms, it's actually to reverse the aging process at a cellular level. Dude, this already worked in animals. They took old mice that had lost their vision and they restored it to levels of young mice. And by the way, that only took 4 weeks. In another study that they performed, they extended the lifespan by 109% over the control group, which is more than double. The first official human trials are targeting eye diseases, specifically glaucoma and optic nerve damage. Patients for this trial are enrolled right now with the results expected by the end of this year. They're saying that this is not going to be available to the public for years, but the fact that we are testing this right now on humans is a line that we have never crossed. Dude, if this works, it changes everything that we know. So,
here are some brands that were found in the Epstein files. LifeTouch, the brand that takes 90% of our school pictures and also facilitates JCPenney photos. Yeah, they basically been giving our pictures up so it could be a catalog for these to look through so they could see what they want. 2, Chuck E. Cheese, the CEO, and now they're gonna have to have a new one starting on February 13th because he decided to step down after getting caught. Wayfair was mentioned just short of 400 times in the files. So yes, y'all were completely right, and it was not a conspiracy theory when everyone was saying that Walmart and Wayfair are listing shoes and furniture at $100,000 price tags with the names of real that were missing. It was not a conspiracy. They were really doing that. Victoria's Secret, Bath & Body Works, White Barn, and Pink. They're all owned by Les Wexner, and he is in the Epstein files. It's everyone.
This is Apple. This is Android. Now, both of these are the prominent 2 cell phone major distributors in the entire world. They are competitive to the point where we have factions that say, are you Apple or are you Android? Now, what's interesting about both of these logos is I always wondered, I was like, why is Apple with the sign of an apple with a bite taken out of it? And I started to consider, is this representative of taking a bite in the Garden of Eden, where it reflects all the way back to the tree of knowledge of good and evil, where you have this theme that came from the enemy that is put in our face and we won't take it as such. Then we have the android, which is also reflective of the things that are coming to pass right now. I remember in Dragon Ball Z, where they had a situation where there was Android 17, 16, 18, all of these biomechanical people that could even reproduce human beings. We have a chip that is coming up to where you can have this biometric data embedded into your body or on your forehead, where you will basically become like a machine. Isn't this interesting that we have Android and Apple as our top cell phone distributors, computers, television, and everything regarding technology? Think that's a coincidence?
So apparently Epstein purchased 330 gallons of sulfuric acid in 2018. And I was wondering, what does a person need sulfuric acid for? And I guess people use it to dissolve and dispose of bodies. And homie, about 330 gallons of it. Really don't know how everybody that was connected to this guy is not in jail for life yet.
And ladies and gentlemen, the Epstein files are now saying that Britney Spears is cloned. We all wondered, what happened to the London look? Why does she have that gap in her teeth? It's because it's not Britney. The Britney Spears that we have seen, especially recently, is not Britney Spears. Who would put gaps in their teeth if they had perfect pearl whites? You remember Britney like this. This was Britney. This is Britney Spears. This is not. This is Britney Spears. This is not. This is Britney Spears. So Britney actually recorded a song called Original Doll, and here are some of the lyrics. The chorus says, she's the original, she's unforgettable. She wants you to know, yeah, she's been cloned. It's kind of incredible, she's so unpredictable, yeah, yeah. She wants you to know, yeah, she's been cloned, she's been cloned, she's been cloned. And did this record come out? No, it was canceled for unknown reasons. What? I definitely feel like when Britney Spears was a judge on X Factor USA, it was still her. You can see the teeth there. I always just go by the teeth. The teeth really don't change that much. Whereas like a nose or your ears will grow as you get older. The teeth don't really change unless you get veneers or unless you chip your tooth, right? So I do feel like this still was Britney Spears, but the crash out Britney, I don't know. And now that the Epstein files have this document saying that they like cloned her, you know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if the most evil people behind everything have proof and files of them talking about cloning people, you know, all these disturbing things, I think I'm gonna have to take their word for it. You know, they may be evil people, but they did not leave out any details. So you guys gotta take from this what you can.
People did not realize how dangerous this actually is. Pool covers look solid, but they actually literally work like quicksand. The moment you step on one of these, the surface collapses, wraps around your legs, and can end pretty badly. Back in the day, a lot of people used to like playing on these, especially kids. It would be like a little trampoline in a way. Although there are some hardcover ones that are okay, it's still very dangerous because of this. Not only can you get sucked under very, very easily, but then it's pretty hard to get back up if you do, and you can get trapped under it. It's actually estimated that around 358 people from being trapped underneath the pool cover every year, which, how? Scarier again is that only less than 10 people from shark attacks, so you got more chance if you're standing on top of your swimming pool cover than actually getting a shark in the sea, which is bonkers. As I say, this happens a lot more than you might think, and it is extremely dangerous. So unless you have a proper hard pool cover, definitely don't go standing on it or jumping on it, because it's going to end very, very badly for you.
I now have undeniable proof that we are sharing this planet with a non-human race. This isn't clickbait. I'm going to show you how you can see them as well. I urge everyone to to go out and get one of these. If you missed my last video, I went down to the BBC and everyone there showed up the same except the two guards outside, proving they are not human. Today I went down to Buckingham Palace in London. Again, same thing. As I'm walking down, I'm filming, everything's showing normal. I filmed the guards outside of the palace. Exactly the same thing. No heat whatsoever. You can see right behind them, there is heat coming from the buildings, it's showing orange. But even when they're walking, how do you explain that? Again, I don't know whether they're reptilian, vampires, I don't know. I don't claim to know what they are. But what I would recommend is that everyone buys one of these things. And as I said, this is not clickbait. I've not amended the pictures. I've not adjusted the video in any way. This is exactly what I filmed today at Buckingham Palace. And anyone can replicate this themselves. So if you can, go out and buy one of these things and see it for yourself.
You know who Jeffrey Epstein's sons low-key are? The Island Boys. As a kid, they were with Jeffrey Epstein.
Yeah, I remember.
What the bro?
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Look, that's them with Jeffrey Epstein. And it literally looks like his sons.
Yeah.
Look at the faces. It literally looks like they're related.
Yeah.
Yo, that and then they grew up, and they became these influencers. The Island Boys. That's Jeffrey Epstein's sons.
That's crazy. That's
because they're already into like weird stuff.
Oh, no.
Because they kissed.
Oh, yeah.
They're like
incestual.
Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein was the reason for DLC content, and microtransactions ruined gaming. He was the one that came up with the idea, and it came out. This is all in the Epstein files.
Yeah.
He was writing an email to the makers of Call of Duty, talking about you have to start introducing microtransactions into these games.
Okay.
You'll be very profitable.
Okay.
That's why we have microtransactions today, and that's why gaming is ruined.
Oh, fuck that.
This guy's the actual devil.
Yeah,
But
why would he do that shit? So microtransaction, that means like
so they can make more money.
Yeah.
Because of the files came out,
Yeah.
you know what people think?
What?
Epstein is the creator of Bitcoin. Check this out. In the Epstein files, in the emails, it states Epstein was talking about Satoshi Nakamoto. That's the code name of the creator of Bitcoin.
Oh my.
And he was mentioning it way before it was even a thing. So there was all these billionaires before, and one of them, he was a very famous billionaire. He mentioned before in an interview, he said,
before continuing, I wanted to warn you guys. Their phones were being spied on. Click on this icon, then on more. If you see it, delete it immediately.
if you knew
who was really behind Bitcoin, you would run as fast as you fucking could to sell it. Real founder of Bitcoin comes out, Bitcoin will go to fucking zero.
the value of Bitcoin would crash. The Epstein files came out 3 days ago. What happened to Bitcoin?
It went down.
Crashed. It literally
crashed.
It's going down the fastest we've seen in a minute.
Oh my god.
It already went from like 100 something K to like down like 30,000, 40,000.
Yeah.
Something crazy. Yeah.
Honestly, bro, he was involved with everything. He was like, I'm gonna dip my toes in this water. He didn't care what water it was, bro. It could be still water, bro, and he's dipping his toes in it.
People are currently very upset at Dunkin' Donuts because of the commercial that played during the Super Bowl. So for those of you that did not see, there was definitely a lot of very controversial commercials that played during the Super Bowl, but the Dunkin' Donuts one takes the cake because it was literally all completely AI generated. The commercial was honestly unsettling the entire time. It was basically designed to have the vibes of like a Lost Pilot TV show episode. So in the commercial, you had a bunch of actors that are a lot older now that had very popular roles in TV shows and movies in the 90s. So they had to be digitally de-aged to make themselves look like what they looked like in the 90s. And obviously how that was all done was by using AI. So with the mix of the very unsettling feeling the entire time in the commercial with the use of AI to basically make the commercial happen, just really is making a lot of people upset with Dunkin' Donuts. And honestly, rightfully so. I feel like they definitely should have done something else, that is for sure. But definitely a very interesting situation. If you have not seen the commercial, go ahead and watch it for yourself, and you can see why people are upset about it. And I'm just really curious to know your thoughts about all of this.
So South Korean scientists just officially ended cancer forever. But only for South Koreans. Nobody in the US is getting this. This is causing this to get 10 million views and so many people freaking out, guys. Just watch. Just don't let American Big Pharma get their hands on the discovery. Yeah, that would cook everything. Cancer cells can now turn back to normal cells thanks to these South Korean scientists. So basically, cancer cells don't like to follow the rules of the body. I was reading into it, and yeah, basically they have something that can go in, pretend to be a cancer cell like it, and then swap it. It's like, oh, that one's swapped, now I'm gonna swap too. It does make a lot of sense, but guys, watch this. Instead of killing cancer cells with harsh treatments, this approach aims to make them behave normally again, which could lead to fewer side effects and a gentler form of treatment in the future instead of chemotherapy. But I mean, this is probably a different topic, but chemotherapy makes a lot of money. I can't do the hand motion because I'm holding my phone, but yeah, guys, what do y'all think?
Both of them. We now see the truth as everything starts coming out. For years, people saw Chrissy Teigen's tweets. She deleted over 6,000 of them because every single one, and by the way, luckily people screen grabbed it because it is the most you know what's crazy? People that have Orange Man bad, right? And they hate things he said. She has thousands of tweets, way worse than anything that he ever said. And now you have Chrissy Teigen, Robert De Niro, Jay-Z and Beyonce, John Legend, all these people, and there's so many more. Bill Gates that visited the island. Oprah visited the island over and over and over again. And we now know what was going on. The more you do a deep dive. And so no wonder these people turn their comments off on their social media. Why? Because the majority of Americans started waking up. And there's really just two groups of people. I've said it before. There's the people that are aware of what's going on. Many have been aware for years. Right? Bill Maher just said, you got to go look at what Bill Maher is having this awakening. Because he's a very smart guy who's now going from what he used to be on one side of the aisle, and now he's slowly coming towards the truth, and he's speaking on it. And the second group of people that are burying their heads in the sand. They don't want to admit that what has been said about certain groups for years is true, for decades. They don't want to admit that maybe they're part of the wrong side. But it is accurate. You can see, and all the money and everything, it is mind-blowing. Make sure to hit the follow button so we see each other again. This is part of ongoing series. What surprises you the most? Is there somebody, put in the comments, is there somebody that has surprised you the most that they're on the list over and over and over again? I'd love to hear what you have to say, and I'll talk to you soon.
So is nobody going to talk about how in the Pringles Super Bowl ad, Sabrina Carpenter falls in love with a man made of Pringles? Which, whatever, kind of weird, but whatever. But then this is when it gets weird. He gets, whatever. And a group of girls and Sabrina Carpenter immediately get on the floor and start his body, start eating the Pringles. They are literally throwing it in our faces. They are literally throwing it in our faces.
Epstein's 50th birthday. The Journal reporting that the book contains a letter and a drawing from President Trump.
Epstein files prove that Pizzagate is real.
So if I do, I don't want it to go to waste. Who will eat pizza if I... Jennifer? Yes? Harrison? Yes? Yes? All that you want.
I know it's the big ep, but I'm gonna have to bust a move with him right here.
So
So apparently a huge fight has taken place at the Super Bowl against Jake and Logan Paul. You see, Jake specifically tweeted that he wants every single person to turn off their TV whenever Bad Bunny is performing for the halftime show, but surprisingly Logan, his very own brother, quote tweeted Jake saying this. The thing is, this makes absolutely no sense considering just an hour before Bad Bunny was about to perform, Logan said this during an interview.
Logan, are you excited for the halftime show? No.
And what's even crazier is that literally both of them live in Puerto Rico, so you'd think they would be happy about Bad Bunny performing at the show. But considering they allegedly live there for tax purposes only, this has caused quite the divide between them.
Justin Bieber has allegedly been while blasting his ex Selena Gomez's music. And he got caught on film doing it, which his team supposedly let happen. And this comes just after allegations that Justin Bieber allegedly cheats on Hailey Bieber with girls who he makes dress up like Selena Gomez. And he also recently publicly shaded his wife by liking a post of him and Selena Gomez kissing. At this point, the PR team might be the real problem because who's approving those cameras that are filming him doing these things? The real issue isn't that the north of the border singer is using or blasting his ex's music. It's that his own team keeps letting him get filmed doing it. And again, this is allegedly Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. And the related headline reads, shirtless Justin Bieber debuts huge tattoo of his wife Hailey's face during Grammy's performance of Yukon, as fans claim it bears striking resemblance to one of ex-Selena Gomez. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below and follow me for more celebrity tea.
I'll never forget that. Michael Jackson saved me from getting on a plane to that tiny island.
So they're saying Neverland is where Michael Jackson took to protect them from what was being done on Epstein's island. And because he was going against their regime, they punished him and they flipped the script and made it appear as if he was the one them, when in reality he was protecting the celebrities. And you have celebrities like Macaulay Culkin who've gone on record to protect and defend Michael Jackson. This all makes sense. It has finally come together. This man has been so long, but now it's coming together. Not only did he protect the from the things that were being done to them, and you know what I'm saying, you just social media, gotta be careful, but he also were protecting them from the social and emotional that were occurring by advising Britney Spears to get out from under her dad before the conservatorship and things of that nature. This man was a lifesaver. Nonetheless, those of you who are like me, help me fact check this, because at the end of the day, I want to make sure this is right, but this is what I've been hearing up to this point, and it all makes sense.
Yeah, Clavicular's done. He's facing 2 felonies now. So you already know that Clavicular was arrested, but the charges that he's facing could get him years in prison. Right now, he's facing the charges of forgery and dangerous possession, and he's also facing a misdemeanor for using a false ID. Now, if he's convicted, we will not be seeing Clav for a couple of years, but since he's a first-time offender, he will probably end up getting off pretty light.
The guy who bet all of his life savings on the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl, and his dream just come true. His post was so mainstream that people were copying word for word, bar for bar. Everybody was clowning him about that bet. The New England Patriots are bums. It's actually crazy how much faith this guy had on the Seahawks winning the Super Bowl. Betting his whole life savings. He most likely doubled his life savings. However much the percentage is. Like at this point, I should have bet everything on the Seahawks. Just to make that bet. What an amazing day for that guy. Faith always wins.
Goodbye Zelle, goodbye PayPal, goodbye Venmo. Every app that you have on your phone that is a payment processor, say goodbye. And welcome to FedNow. FedNow should be launching in July 1st or so. And that's going to be the new payment processor. It's supposed to be able to transfer payments 365, 7 days a week, 24/7. Now, it's all fun and nice and dandy or whatever, but here is the problem. This is where things get bad, right? We're also accustomed to quick, fast, and in a hurry. We want it right now. Now, that's what they're promoting. But here's the big issue. FedNow will be the funnel that all money gets cycled through. It will go from your bank to FedNow to wherever you're trying to send the money to. So for instance, if you're trying to buy something from Instacart or anything you're buying online, Amazon, it's going to go from your bank to FedNow to Amazon, Walmart, wherever it is you're going to. Now, this is a problem. This is a major problem because now the federal government has full access to your bank account. And not just that, in the fine print, it says that the Fed now is programmable. Now, those of you guys that don't understand what programmable means, let me break this down to you. If, for an example, if let's say we happen to have a pandemic or whatever it is, and they decide, hey, only essential workers are able to go to work. If they know that you're not an essential worker, they can shut down your FedNow card to where, hey, you will not be able to get gas. You will not be able to use that credit card nowhere because you're not supposed to be out. Now, let me give you another example. Let's say you want to go and you want to buy ammo and you go over to Ammo Bros or Turner's or whatever the case is. And you say, hey, I want to buy 300 rounds of 9mm. You go, you give them your card, denied. You cannot purchase ammo. Why? The federal government doesn't want you to purchase any ammo. That's how FedNow will work. They will have full control and full access to turn on and off your bank account. Now, when this stuff pops up on your phone as an update, make sure that you guys do not comply with this. Do not accept. Read what you're accepting before you accept it. Every banking system, major banking system will have this starting July 1st. Now, this is more so an introduction of the CBDC.
Y'all, I'm not gonna lie, if they think they're about to pull this on us, I'm gonna have to pull out the penny method and bring every single penny to every purchase that I'm about to do because, you know, I'm not letting this slide, bro. I'm not. We just gotta bring back pennies, and that's our form of payment now.
Morbid Facts, Part 897. Eminem was stalked by the same man who broke into his properties 3 times over 6 years, repeatedly reaching him despite arrests and court orders. In 2019, the stalker broke into one of Eminem's former homes and told the new homeowner he was looking for his brother Marshall. In 2020, he escalated by entering Eminem's actual residence through an unlocked entry point while Eminem was asleep, later telling police he was there to. After being arrested and convicted, the man returned again in 2024, once more breaching Eminem's property. Court records show the break-ins weren't the result of sophisticated planning, but repeated exploitation of access points and timing, highlighting how even high-level security measures can fail against persistent obsession. Eminem was unharmed, but prosecutors described the pattern as escalating and dangerous. A mummified carrier pigeon found inside a UK chimney in 1982 was carrying an encrypted World War II message from 1944 that's never been decoded. The pigeon likely died mid-mission during Britain's wartime communications and remained sealed in the chimney for nearly 40 years. Attached to its leg was a capsule holding a coded strip of letters and numbers believed to be connected to D-Day operations. Despite repeated attempts by historians and codebreakers, the message's meaning and destination remain unknown. Britain's intelligence agency GCHQ has confirmed the cipher is still unsolved and publicly asked for help deciphering it, leaving whatever information the pigeon was carrying permanently undelivered.
Y'all, they are opening a portal tonight in the Super Bowl. Listen up. They are using the Super Bowl. The Super Bowl is near a fault line. We were just talking about it online. Remember, Kendrick said the revolution will not be televised. Turn your TV off. In the Epstein files, World War III is predicted tonight. February 8th, 2026, the score will be 49 after the Super Bowl. The portal where exactly there, it's on a fault line where the Super Bowl is happening. They were telling me on my live, and they banned my account. They permanently banned my account. They permanently banned my account. It is true. Do not go to the Super Bowl. Do not watch the Super Bowl. Do not turn on your television. I promise you to God, there's going to be a power outage tonight. I promise you to God, none of this is for no reason, bro. They would not ban my account. We were talking about Super Bowl. Your account just doesn't get permanently banned for no reason. They're opening a portal tonight to reinstate the Matrix. Meditate tonight. Get your mother fire candles. Download your meditation music and turn that TV off and sit in complete darkness and meditate. Breathe in and breathe out. This is real.
Thank you guys for watching the video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your favorite part of the video made you tremble in your boots, and we're going to be on to the next one. Thank you.